Here we got the practice questions. So obviously it's been a long time since we've done anything like this before. So question one, what I want you to do is to attempt these questions. I'll give some tips. I'm not going to give any answers. Give some tips. I don't want you to worry about timings to begin with. I'd rather that you wrote really good answers using the structure that I'm giving you, and then we can speed up and get into the times. You start using the timings that you'll need for the actual exam. But I think the important thing first is make sure we get the skill sorted out in answering giving good answers. Well, obviously the first one is just going to be multi-choice, so I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, two, give two religious beliefs about the purposes of families. Okay, so now so many of you just give one religious belief. Okay, and sometimes you might give another belief, but it's not religious. It's got to be two religious beliefs. So it's got to be two, and it's got to be two religious beliefs. You know, this is really, and so you got 2 marks, and you're not writing a paragraph. You literally just, for this case, it's probably just 2 sentences, 2 lines, if that. Okay, so you don't want to be wasting time writing a paragraph. Number 3, explain 2 contrasting beliefs in contemporary British society about sex before marriage. In your answer, you should refer to the main religious tradition of Great Britain and one or more other religious traditions. Now, it's a really long-winded way of basically saying explain 2 contrasting beliefs in Christianity is what they're looking for. And now when it says or more other religious traditions, it can be another branch of Christianity. Okay, so long as you've got 2 contrasting Christian beliefs, they don't care. Okay, so again, now there's 4 marks here, so 2 marks for each belief explained. So it'd be like, one belief is, tell me what it is, and then tell me why they hold that belief. 2 marks. Again, just a couple of lines, a couple of sentences. That's it. You're not writing an essay here. It's the whole thing should hopefully be about 5 or 6 lines tops. Again, you look at the question. First of all, it's 2 beliefs, so you're going to have 2 Christian beliefs in there, okay, because it's talking about main religious tradition, which is Christianity, but it's contrasting beliefs. You've got to read the question carefully, because sometimes the question will ask you to talk about similar beliefs. No, it's got contrasting for that one as well. Sometimes they'll say give 2 similar beliefs or just give 2 beliefs, but sometimes I say 2 contrasting beliefs. So I've had students lose marks because they've given me 2 good beliefs, but they're very similar. They've got to be contrasting. So clearly it's going to be one who says it's okay for sex before marriage and one who says it isn't okay, but you've got to explain why, the religious belief behind why. And it's exactly the same for question 4. Explain 2 religious beliefs about the nature of marriage. Now, interesting here, there's no contrasting religious belief. It just says, give me 2 religious beliefs about the nature of marriage. They don't have to be contrasting. They can be similar. Refer to scripture or sacred writings in your answer. Now, if you can't remember a quote, then you could just say in the Bible it says, and then you can get as close as you can. So, for example, you can say in the Bible it says there is no male or female. That's not a long quote. Okay, you haven't got the whole quote in there. You might not have it exactly word for word correct, but it's close enough that the examiner will give you credit. So question 4 is set up exactly the same way as question 3. The extra mark, to make it 5 mark, comes from referring to scripture or sacred writings in your answer. You've got to get that in there. And then question 5, same-sex parents are just as good at bringing up children as other parents. Evaluate this statement. They've actually given you, if you actually look at the rest of the question there, they give you the essay structure they want. So follow it, use it, so you don't have to think about it. So give reasons, argument in support of this statement. So tell me why same-sex parents are just as good. And tell me why people say same-sex parents are just as good at bringing up children as other parents. Okay, it's a reasoned argument. You're not just saying yes they are. You've got to give reasons why people are saying yes they are. And then it says give reason arguments to support a different point of view. So clearly it's going to be something that's opposing. probably going to be opposing, that they're not as good. Tell me why. Now, you have to refer to religious arguments. One of them has to be a religious argument. If you do not refer to religion, to Christianity, you cannot get more than 6 out of 12, no matter how good your argument is. Even if you've got two arguments well explained and you've evaluated it and can justify conclusion and it's brilliant, no more than 6 out of 12 if you do not refer to Christianity. I cannot overemphasize that too much. So you've got one paragraph in support, another paragraph, leave a line blank, and then a second paragraph, I support a different viewpoint. Obviously, one of those viewpoints is probably going to be your viewpoint, and just explain why you hold that viewpoint. Okay, it's an opportunity for you to demonstrate what you think. Let's say you may refer to non-religious arguments. It's probably going to be your viewpoint. Now, the last paragraph, reach a justified conclusion. Now, this is where you really are evaluating the two main arguments, and you've got to tell me which one you think is the strongest argument. Probably going to be your viewpoint, but you've got to explain why it's stronger than the other argument. You've got to explain what is weak about the other argument. Okay, why do you disagree with the other argument? And then tell me why you think your argument is stronger, and this is the view that you are going to take in your justified conclusion. If you follow that structure, as a minimum, you will get 6 out of 12 because you follow the structure. Clearly, depending how well you argue it and the content you use will determine whether it's 6 or 12. But you've got to follow that structure. So like I said, what I want you to do is, normally this would take about 25 minutes in the actual exam. So about 13-14 minutes would be for question 5, and about, I don't know, 10 minutes for question 3 and 4, so 5 minutes between them, and then about 3 or 4 minutes for the first two questions. First two questions should be really quick, done in within a minute or two. So I don't mind when you first try this, if you take half an hour, if you take 40 minutes, take 45 minutes, so long as you use the structure. And this is where you can mark it yourself. So for question 3, have you got two contrasting beliefs? Have you explained them both? Great, 4 marks. Question 4, have you done the same thing? Great, 4 marks. Use the structure and you could almost mark it yourself. Now, once you've written good answers, then we can start speeding up. What I don't want to see is for when it says explain two contrasting beliefs, is for you to give me one belief. Why? Why just give me one belief? Okay, the question is very clearly asking for two contrasting beliefs. Now, when you're writing your answer, and some of you do this, you give me one belief and then you don't write anything else. You've got to give two contrasting beliefs. You can see yourself, you're only going to get half the marks. So write something else down. Okay, you've got to learn to monitor what you are writing to see whether you are meeting the criteria. That's what you're going to have to do in the exam. Okay, and then once you've done that, and then we can actually start speeding up. Okay, so that's that. And I think what we do, obviously I don't know when we're going to be coming back. We'll probably start on another module and we'll go on from there.